So I realized that this information is not for everybody because it's a lot of information. It takes a soul to be ready to meet darkness, to begin to understand why it is that they're functioning the way that they're functioning, and why they're doing, most atrocious, nefarious things to us. Even though they're losing, and obviously the light is getting bigger, the process of going through the darkness is going through it within yourself. And so when I go through this darkness within myself, I start to understand the dark more in general as a whole, just as they are a part of source, but they just went too far away, and so now they're stuck. But having love for them, loving them, and forgiving them, forgiving yourself, forgiving them, loving them, that is real, because we know what we all are. We all are love. It's just through the many layers and realms that they can exist on, the dark is there's such satisfaction in learning about them, because we're finally understanding how this works. Because it was annoying to not before, because I hated being messed with. Now I'm beginning to understand more. Now I'm beginning to remember my power. So it's not just learning about the dark. Okay, like, what do I do with that information now? It's learning about the dark and then learning about your light. So both are increasing. Both information is increasing. Knowledge of self and knowledge of the dark, because they're all aspects of ourselves. So there's a win-win, because now we know the game that they play in, and then now we know our power. Now we know how to take our power back. So I just asked our star family, how do we get ready to meet each other? Well, we need to have peace. And then how do we have peace? Well, we need to shed. So what that means, we need to shed those past lives and all the torturous things they did to us. Feel it, see it, witness it, love it, and in their own timing, forgive. That's a whole big thing in itself. But that needs to be dealt with properly, naturally, authentically, vulnerable in all of it, and feeling it, loving all the parts of self, so that we can arrive to peace. And it's not going to happen all in one night. It's not going to happen all like 1, 2, 3, 4. It's going to be, I'm at 1 here for, say, a year, for example. Okay, I'm here. I'm at 2 the next year, and I see 3, but I'm still at 2. So we're having to go at our own pace. But that is what's going to bring us to peace when we meet with Galactic, meeting with our star family. First, it's going to be Galactic disclosure. So that's going to ready us, and that's going to prepare us more for the meeting. In the physical. So the more we can work on ourselves and our own shadows, the more we can shed and then rise into what we really are, which is love. Okay, energy just wants to pass through. So that's what we have to do. It's the shedding of something huge. It's not all in one night. It's a big thing. It's our own pain. It's our own shadows. So working on that is ascending, is getting closer to peace. Actually, that's why this path is only for the ones that are ready. It's not for everybody, because to ascend we have to go through the darkness of our own shadows, which is something we avoid. It's a blessing to know what to do, to know how to do it, and to be patient with ourselves. So I get it.
And so then this goes even deeper, and then I feel like as starseeds, when we incarnate into physical bodies on the earth, on earth in a dense place, the dark goes, dense place. I can easily take their soul, twist them, distort them, drown them, run them through razor blades, just do all sorts of fucked up shit to their body, and then kill them, so that when they resurrect, when they come to body again, they have this pain in their body. They have this actual trauma that manifests into the physical because of their energy body. It's been over and over and over they do this. So that's what Q said, is that over and over and over they do this. They do the same thing. So then every time you reincarnate, the pain gets more solidified, more dense in your body. So that witch thing is one aspect of it. And then there's the even I don't even know what to call this. It's in the energy area. In the energy realm, they do so many distortions to you, like all the things I mentioned. And so the witch one is just on the earth plane, and then this one is like the dark, just in the energy realm. So right, so there's two we need to heal. We need to heal the witch wound on the earth plane, and then we need to heal the second one, which is the dark on the energetic level. We got to go at our own pace in healing these wounds that are so dark and so heavy. By feeling them again, by witnessing them, we give it light, and then after that, then we can forgive those people, those people that were in the earth in the past lives, and then the beings, dark, we can forgive the dark because we know that they're just too far away from the light. But we're too stuck right now in our, you did this to me, you did this to me, you did this to me. How could I ever forgive you? How could I ever forgive you? So we're clearing that. And then the awareness of knowing that we need to forgive the people in the past lives that tortured us, and the dark before we came into this body that tortured us. That's a blessing in itself, is awareness. So I don't need to forgive them right now. I don't need to forgive them now. I can take my time. I can mourn. I can just witness and show love to all the parts of me that went through that pain. I can witness and feel. And then when the time is right, I will forgive them. But that is what needs to come through. That is what we need to know, because we need to shed. So that's a part of our shedding in order to climb the ladder. We need to shed, and that's like a big one. That's a big one because it's a pain and it's a wound. So right, and then there's Jezebels in all women, and maybe in men too. Yeah, yes, there are. So there's a Jezebel in everybody. And the Jezebels came to me like this. This is my own personal experience. So, right. So, I'm like, I find this magic. And then someone comes else and finds it. If the knowing or the thinking of somebody else coming and finding this magic makes me sick, because in this past life of mine, or in this other thing of mine, I had to go through so much pain in order to receive the magic. And that's not how it works. That's just it is what it is, unfortunately, like the soul in the dark and all the things that happen. It is what it is. Right. But just having that pain and that wound and witnessing somebody else find that magic and then just already have it, it disturbs me, because to me, I say that's unfair. That's unfair because you didn't have to go through all that pain that I went through. That is where the jealousy comes through in the Jezebel. At least for me, that's what I figured out. But it's the same frequency of the Jezebel. Alright, so this body shaming thing, there's a thing behind it, and it's that I don't have the will. And the will is here. So the will to forgive the people in the past lives that did us wrong, or the dark, before we reincarnated, so they twisted up our soul, put all these distortions. So the willingness to forgive those spirits, those beings that are too straight from the light, is what has manifested as shame toward our will, our stomach, our solar plexus, our stomach, our belly, our womb, because that is our magic, that is our creation, that is where we create. So being wronged for our creations, or being wronged for being an oracle, being wronged for all this is just like, it's just like, that's just part of it. It's just part of that. It's like a thread of like a feather of that. But I think it's a big one, I feel. Right. Really feeling into the will to forgive. The will to forgive the dark for distorting you on the earth plane and in the energetic realm before you incarnated. The will to forgive those beings. The will to forgive those beings. Shows up as shame for the place of will. Shows up as shame for creating and then being destroyed, being like tortured for it in the past life. The will to forgive is what we're going to remember, take our power back, and restore. And that's what we're doing. But slowly, at our own pace. Each of us have individual past lives. Everything is so unique and so specific and detailed to our own soul and what we've gone through. But we can all feel into this area of pain in past lives, or maybe in the dark distorting us if we had a lot of light. So the willingness to forgive has to be at our own pace. Has to be in our own time. Has to come natural for us to forgive. We can't force to forgive somebody. We have to go to that place and see if we can. We have to go to that place and keep trying. It's not like you have to force it, but it's like a being so patient with yourself, but trying, continuing to try, but being patient with yourself. And continuing to try is going and feeling that pain again. Continuing to try is feeling that, witnessing that pain as a form of self-love. By witnessing, I'm loving those parts of self that didn't get love. So this is all kind of hidden. This is all hidden. That is why it is hard to grasp, because it's not in this life, because it's before you came into this body. That's why it's hard to grasp. But we're grasping that now. And as we go through these healings, we start to shed, and then we feel lighter. We go up the steps, 1, 2, 3, 4. We're at 2. We have this huge baggage. How can we go to 3 with all this baggage? You have to drop it. You have to let it go. You have to lose the weight. You have to lose the people. You have to shed the tears. Whatever. You have to let it go. Drop it. Move to 3. Okay, we're at 3 now. Everything is like in its own frequency. We can't go 1 to 3. We have to go 1, 2, 3. We can't go 3 to 4 without properly having a relationship with 3. I can't go to 4 without properly having a relationship with 3. That is how this ascending is working. Is what I'm seeing. It's just such a blessing to know this, to remember this, because I didn't come here to have that pain stick with me. I didn't come here to live with that again. No, I came here to release that. I came here to shed that, to be done with that, to love those parts of me that didn't receive love. That's what I came here to do. And then we could just thank ourselves for being so fully present with 2, even though we know what 3 looks like. yeah, that's been something to grasp, and another form of shedding and then loving, because they both go hand in hand. When you go 1, 2, 3, 4 and you climb up the stairs and you ascend, they go hand in hand. The darkness is there, the light is there, and then you are there. It's easier for us to be our vulnerable human selves because we see the bigger picture. We see the galactic disclosure happening. We see the ships picking us up, and before, the world gets wiped clean, fresh, new slate. What else? There's like 2 ships I see now. Maybe more, but right now I see 2 very visible. It's a lot for souls to go through this because you have to be ready. There's some dark things that we're gonna have to go through because we need to go through it. You can't go around it. You have to go through it. It's hard of a warrior. Truth is, bleh. I have to share my personal experience of being vulnerable. That's what they're trying to tell me, is that we have to share our personal experience because we need to have others hear our truth, our authenticity, so that they feel comfortable. See, my human brain can't comprehend that there's 2 ships in front of me, but my higher self, my spirit in the higher realms, which is me now, just accepts it as sane, because it is so sane to have all our family here as one, right? But the human is like, can't even fathom it because it uses its brain, and it's like, there's limited, because it's like, I don't know, that's why we're like still having to shed the limitations of our brain. So that's why we go to the heart, and then we know. So we're still processing shedding this brain, but we can go to the heart. Here's some words. This is for balance. Connecting with the mother constantly, because she's physical, because it does carry 3D. And also connecting to our cosmic purpose. Whatever that is. The star family, the remembrance that you're an angel, the fairies, the pentacorns. The truth of that, the truth of love, the truth of whatever, harmony, peace, the truth of truth. The truth of truth. Oh, the truth of truth. That's a balanced energy, because now you're connecting with something, which is the mother, that is transitioning. So if we're connecting with something that is transitioning and connecting to our purpose, which is the cosmic purpose, we're bridging the 2, and then by doing that, we're anchoring light as spirits ascending in the body ascending with us. So, and then we're planting like these, you can't see it, but it's like a grid of light in California, Washington, Oregon, New York, Idaho, Kentucky, Florida, yeah, all these, and Europe, India, Brazil, Madagascar, China. So all these pillars, we're everywhere. All these pillars of light are turning on by us remembering what we have to do here. And then it's like, right, and like I feel like, again, all our wounds in this life, all our wounds right now are heavily rooted in the past lives, when whatever our pain was that they did to us, and the dark messing with our energy and our soul when we were on our way to incarnate on this body. So I feel like it's rooted there, because in this life it reminds us of that. That's why it stings a bit more, it itches. I see a ship. I saw one earlier.